Okay, shalom, shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kwadash. This is back to the basics. You know, you always gotta have fundamentals, man. You always gotta be able to go back to the basics. Actually, the fundamentals is way more important than just the raw talent. You know, just like I watch boxing a lot. There was a guy called Adrian Broner, right, and he had very, very raw talent, right? But the first time he got his ass kicked was by a guy called McDonough, which he was a very fundamental fighter, right? And then he got his ass kicked by Mikey Garcia. These are very fundamental fighters. Just to show you, if you perfect those fundamentals, you could be greater than a guy with just athletic talent. But just in the truth, it's the same way. You got to be able to go back to the basics, because if you're well rounded in your fundamentals, it'll get you farther than just being able to scream loud or being on the highways and byways and able to rebuke the other nations good. You got to be well rounded. But back to the basics. What happens when you die? So this is a coffin that's on your screen, which symbolize what? Death, right? Today. That's what they use, right? So what happens when you die? So I actually was at a funeral, right? And this first precept I'm about to pull was a precept that they pulled. Now, what's the lesson behind that? The lesson behind that is not that I never read Second Corinthians before, but they pulled it, and I said, "Oh, that's a great precept." Let me drop that one down, which proves that you could learn from anywhere and everywhere. Just because, they doing it in the name of Jesus Christ, which is wickedness, right? Don't mean that there ain't no light there, that you still can't learn. Because this was like an all black church, right? And the only reason why we was at the church, of course, because they had the funeral, they had the wake there, right? So it's a family member funeral, so I went. So and I picked up this precept. You can learn from anywhere. And that's the thing, right? Man, this is a big battle that's going on right now. This is a big thing that's happening amongst the world of Israel right now, where this thing has been revealed, right? And it's not that it's okay, I could learn from people I deem that I can learn from. Or I'm only dealing with this little section, this little group that makes up 0.1% of all Israel, or even 0.1% of the elect your group. So what's going on right now, things are being exposed that this is bigger than just your group, and this is why none of these groups could come together and merge together, right? Or can't even work together, right? This is about Israel. The elect is going to come from all different type of groups, all different walks of life. So you can't just shut off to, I only, like I seen a brother, and he made a video talking about brotherly love. He said that you have to fight for the brotherhood, right? But when he's saying that, the actions and what he's saying in the video goes along with him pretty much just saying amongst his group, you have to fight for the brotherhood, the group that you're in, right? And I was agreeing with the things he said only if he was talking about Israel, the Israelites, Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom. You have to fight for that brotherhood. So not only do I have brotherhood with niggas that got accepted to my camp, but I gotta have brotherhood with Israel. So the brotherly law commandments goes for all Israelites. It don't matter if they're in the truth or not. It don't matter if they're in your group or not. You still, on your end, you still supposed to follow the commandments. So you supposed to treat your brother, your neighbor, as you treat yourself, whether he's in the truth or not. If he's going off and he's not in the truth, that's in the Lord's hand to judge him. If he does an offense towards you or anything, that's different. But as far as like, if I meet a brother on the street, right, and he an Israelite, he not in the truth, or I don't know him to be in the truth, guess what? I'm still gonna keep the commandments, still gonna show him brotherly love, right? And I'm still gonna exhort him if there's something to be exhorted for, still gonna treat him as I would want to be treated, because that's just respect for men. But what you see a lot of times in this truth is you see brothers show that respect for people they're members of the same group with, but then they treat Israelites that are still Israelites by blood, that the Lord still loves, they treat them like shit because you're not a part of my group. And then they feel like they don't have to keep the commandments. So that's the big struggle right now, right? So, but this is back to the basics, right? So what happens when you die? Okay, so this 2 Corinthians 5, starting at verse 8, it says, "We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord." So it's just that simple, right? So when you die, you exit the body, right? And then you're present with the Lord. What's present with the Lord? Your spirit is present with the Lord. So let's see what happens to the body, right? And this ain't gonna take that long. This ain't gonna take that long at all. Um, you gotta bear with me because I'm looking these up on the laptop. Got to load. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 7. Very popular precept, right? It says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was. So Second Corinthians said you absent from the body. So the body is the dust that returns to the ground. You know, they put you in a coffin, they put you in the ground, they bury you, right? And it says, and the spirit shall return into God who gave it. So it keeps, so that's two precepts right there, right? Here a little, there a little, right? So we should all know just by those two precepts of what happens when you die. Do you go to hell? Did it say anything about you go in the decision if you go to hell with a devil, Satan, or you go? It doesn't say that. It says, look, very simple. The dust should return to the ground, and the spirit is going to return to God who gave it, man. Let me see another one, and then okay, then you might ask, okay, so, and this is just straight to the point. This is basics right now, straight to the point, right? So then you may ask, like, okay, so my body returns to the ground, my spirit returns to the Lord, and then what happens after that? Okay, this is Job 1, verse 20. It says, and Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, right? So you came out as a baby naked, right? And naked shall return thither. So how are you going to return to your mother's womb naked if you came out? As a grown man, you just go take off all your clothes and then kind of try to fit back into your mother's womb? Fuck no, man. So what's going to happen is you're going to be reincarnated, regenerated into your mother's womb. Not your same mother. It's going to be another mother. And you're going to come out her womb again as a baby naked. So it says, and said, naked came out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. What does he mean when he says naked shall I return there? Right? It says, and Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord, right? Because remember in Ecclesiastes, your soul went to the Lord who gave it. Your body went into the ground. The dust returned back to the ground. Same thing with Second Corinthians, right? 5 and 8, right? And then from there, the Lord is going to send your spirit reincarnated back to the earth again, and you're going to be born again naked through a mother, her womb. Reincarnation. It says, in all of Job's sin, in all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. So this is a very simple breakdown, straight to the point, ABC. So you should get it now. So when you die, your body's going to return back to the dust. The dust going to be returned back to the ground, right? It's going to turn to dust, right? After so long, your spirit's going to go back to the Lord, right? You're going to get your judgment for whatever you did, and you're going to be reincarnated into your new mom's body again. You're going to be sent back to the earth. You're going to lead the spiritual world. You're going to lead the Lord. You're going to be sent back to the earth again as a baby and to be born out your new mother's womb. And then your judgments. You're going to have your judgments for the past life and that life. You know, so people say, why this happened to me? Why that happened to me? We don't know what you did in your last life to why the Lord made you paralyzed in your new life. Or why the Lord is putting you through certain things in your new life because of things that you did in your past life. That's reincarnation. That's how it works. That's biblical. So now I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom. Hopefully this has been edifying.